Have you ever noticed that even when you get a full night's sleep, you still wake up feeling off, like your body's already tense and your mind is racing before you even put your feet on the floor? You're not alone, and you're not doing anything wrong. The truth is, how we feel in the morning has just as much, if not more, to do with what we did the night before, as it does with how long we slept. Many of us grew up being told, just get 8 hours and you'll be fine. But that's not always the case, especially as we get older. Sleep becomes lighter, digestion changes. The nervous system is a little more sensitive. And life, well, it just feels heavier sometimes. If your evenings are filled with stress, late-night snacking, scrolling through your phone, or lying awake with a tight chest and a racing heart, then no amount of morning vitamins or walking routines will undo that. But here's the good news. You can change how your body and mind feel, not with pills or expensive gadgets, but with a few simple habits that help your nervous system slow down and feel safe again before your head hits the pillow. That's what this video is all about. I want to share with you a set of calming, down-to-earth habits you can start practicing tonight, before 10 p.m., to support your nervous system, your digestion, and your overall peace of mind. You don't need any fancy tools. You just need your own breath, your own awareness, and a gentle willingness to try something new. Let's begin with something most people don't realize has a big impact on sleep and stress. Your belly. Your abdominal area holds more than just your digestive system. It's also where a large part of your nervous system lives. It's even called the second brain. If you've ever gone to bed feeling bloated, tight, or just uncomfortable in your core, it's not just physical. That tension can keep you from relaxing deeply into sleep. One of the most helpful things I've started doing is a gentle belly massage with a little castor oil and a warm compress. Just before bed, I rub a small amount of castor oil on my stomach and slowly massage it in, using small circles, moving clockwise. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's just about bringing warmth and calm to an area that carries so much for us all day. After massaging, I lay a soft cloth over it and place a heat pack on top. Not too hot, just warm enough to soothe. This little ritual has helped with digestion, reduced that gassy, tight feeling I used to carry at night, and, more importantly, it signals to my body that it's okay to let go. I'm not rushing, I'm not bracing. I'm home, I'm safe, and I'm slowing down. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have castor oil. That's okay. You don't need anything fancy. Just using your hands and a bit of olive oil or coconut oil works too. The point is to reconnect with your body, especially in a place that's easy to ignore until it starts yelling at us. After taking care of my belly, the next place I turn my attention to is my face, particularly my jaw and temples. These are areas that hold stress we don't even notice. Clenched teeth, furrowed brows, tight jaws, they can all build up during the day and follow us right into our dreams. That's why I take a few minutes to do a gentle facial massage. I don't follow a strict routine. I just start by rubbing my palms together until they're warm. Then I cup them over my cheeks, close my eyes, and breathe. From there, I gently run my fingers along my jawline, behind my ears, over my temples. If you've never done this before, you'll be surprised how tender these areas can be, and how much better you feel afterward. Sometimes I use a little facial oil just to help my fingers glide more easily. But again, you don't need anything fancy. Even just a few slow, mindful strokes can help release tension and help your nervous system realize, I'm okay now. I don't need to keep holding on. This small act of self-care isn't about beauty. It's not about lifting or tightening or looking a certain way. It's about softening, giving your body permission to stop gripping, stop striving, and simply be. Now, once the body starts to relax, I turn to something warm and familiar, a cup of tea. But this isn't just any tea. I've learned that our bodies have cycles, and depending on what we're going through, whether it's a tired day, a moody day, or even hormonal changes that still surprise us later in life, different herbs can support us in different ways. Some nights I'll go for a tea with chamomile or lavender to help calm the mind. On days when I've felt bloated or tense, I might add a slice of ginger or some fennel seeds to support digestion. And if it's one of those evenings where I'm just feeling emotionally heavy, I'll steep a bit of rose petal or lemon balm for the heart. You don't need to overthink it. The act of making tea is soothing in itself. Boiling the water, smelling the steam, cradling the mug in your hands, it becomes its own ritual of slowness. It's a way of saying to yourself, I'm worth this moment. As you sip your tea, you might notice the lighting around you. This brings me to something that made a huge difference for my sleep. The lights in my home. Modern lighting, especially bright white or blue-toned LEDs, can confuse our bodies into thinking it's still daytime. That makes it harder for the brain to release melatonin, the hormone that helps us fall asleep. So every evening around sunset, I start to dim the lights in my home. I switch from overhead lights to small lamps. I use warm bulbs, the kind that mimic candlelight. The goal isn't to see everything perfectly. It's to create a cozy, calming environment that tells your brain the day is done. This has also helped me cut back on what I like to call doom scrolling. You know the kind. Late-night phone sessions where you're reading news that upsets you, or watching videos that never seem to end. I've made it a rule. No screens 2 hours before bed. And let me tell you, it was tough at first, but it's been worth it. When you cut out blue light and overstimulating content before bed, your mind has a chance to slow down. You start reaching for books again, or just sitting in silence with your tea, or having a real conversation with your partner. It's not just good for your sleep, it's good for your soul. And that's where I'll pause for now. We've touched on some powerful habits already, and there's still more to explore. Now, if you've ever gone to bed with a full stomach, you know that heavy feeling, like your body's still working overtime when all you want is to rest. That's because it is still working. Digestion takes energy, and when we eat too close to bedtime, especially heavy or late dinners, our system stays active, not relaxed. One of the most impactful changes I've made, and one that our grandparents probably practiced without even thinking, is finishing dinner at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. For me, that means eating around 5 or 6 p.m. if I plan to sleep at 10. I know that might sound early to some folks, but let me tell you, the quality of rest you get is entirely different when your body isn't busy breaking down food. When I started doing this, I noticed I was less bloated at night, I fell asleep faster, and I didn't wake up with that groggy, puffy feeling in the morning. And this isn't about eating less, it's about eating earlier. Give your body the chance to digest while you're still awake and moving around. That way, when it's time for bed, your system can shift gears fully into recovery and healing mode. Now, once your belly is calm, your lighting is soft, and your mind is free from screens, there's one more tool I want to share, one that costs nothing, takes just a few minutes, and can change everything: your breath. We all breathe, it's automatic. But how often do we actually pay attention to how we're breathing? Most of the day, especially when we're stressed or busy, we take short, shallow breaths. Sometimes we even hold our breath without noticing, especially when we're concentrating or worrying. Before bed, I take a few moments to practice simple breathing exercises. Nothing complicated. Sometimes I just sit or lie down, close my eyes, and breathe in slowly through my nose, then exhale even more slowly through my mouth. I picture the breath going all the way down into my belly, then gently rising back out. You don't need a fancy app or a timer. Just you, your breath, and a little intention. Some nights I use a rhythm called box breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold. Other times I do 4-7-8 breathing, which is even slower, but honestly, even just taking a few deep sighs in and out can work wonders for your nervous system. What this kind of breathing does is activate what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that helps your body rest, digest, and heal. And when you do it consistently, your body learns to associate it with safety, with calm, with sleep. Some nights, I drift off right in the middle of my breathing, and that's a good thing. At this point in the evening, my environment is calm, my body feels lighter, and my mind has slowed down. But there's one more habit I've found incredibly helpful. especially if you're the kind of person who finds it hard to turn off at night. It's about the kind of content you let into your mind right before sleep. For a long time, I thought I was doing the right thing by listening to self-help podcasts before bed, or reading books about productivity, growth, or health. But I started noticing that instead of relaxing me, these kinds of things got my brain going even more. I'd get new ideas, want to take notes, even get up and start planning things. My body was still in bed, but my mind was wide awake and working. Now, I make it a rule. No self-help, no work-related content before bed. Instead, I reach for things that are light, gentle, and don't require me to do anything. A good fiction novel, a funny podcast, a poetry collection. Something that lets my brain just be. It's like giving yourself permission to not improve for a while, just rest. Because the truth is, we don't always need to learn or fix or optimize. Sometimes, we just need to soften. And that softening, in the mind, in the breath, in the belly, is what allows the nervous system to truly reset. It's what lets us sleep not just longer, but deeper. These evenings, when I follow even just a few of these habits, I notice a huge difference. I'm less irritable. My digestion is smoother. My mornings are lighter. And more than anything, I feel safer in my own body. That's not something I used to think about. Safety within. But now I understand that for the nervous system to calm down, it needs to feel like the world isn't chasing you anymore. Like you're allowed to rest, like it's okay to stop. I don't always get it perfect. Some nights I forget to do the breath work. Some nights I get distracted. But I no longer beat myself up about that. Because these aren't rules, they're tools. I pick up the ones I need, and I let the rest wait. That's the beauty of growing older. We start to realize we don't have to push so hard. We don't have to fix everything in a day. Sometimes we just need to put our hands on our belly, take a deep breath, and remind ourselves, I'm here, I'm safe, I can rest now. Now, I want to share something that may sound simple, but it's made one of the biggest differences in how I feel before bed. It's this: doing just one small thing at night that brings me joy. Not productivity, not optimization, just joy. We forget, as we get older, how powerful little pleasures can be. Something as basic as brushing your dog's fur, wiping down the kitchen counter, sitting quietly in your favorite chair with a candle lit nearby, calling someone you love just to hear their voice. These moments may not show up on a health tracker, but your body knows. Your nervous system knows. It remembers safety, routine, rhythm. For me, one of these nightly rituals is journaling. Not the heavy kind. I don't try to solve all the world's problems on paper. I just write one or two thoughts. Something I'm grateful for. Something that made me smile. Something I hope for tomorrow. Other nights, I'll stretch gently on the floor for 5 minutes. Or pick out my clothes for the next day while listening to soft music. These are not chores. They're small kindnesses to myself. And I think that's the heart of it. All of these habits, all of these routines, they come back to one thing: self-kindness. Not pressure, not perfection. Just giving your body and mind a signal every night that you care, that you're listening, that you're willing to slow down and tend to the quiet needs that so often go ignored. Let's be honest, our nervous systems have been through a lot. Decades of doing, pushing, achieving, caring for others. It's no wonder that sometimes we lie awake at night with a heart that beats a little too fast or thoughts that won't quiet down. But the good news is, no matter what your day has been like, your night can still be a reset. When we take the time to wind down, to care for our digestion, release muscle tension, avoid stimulation, and invite calm, we're not just setting ourselves up for a better night's sleep. We're training our nervous system to trust again, to rest, to stop bracing for the next thing. That kind of peace doesn't just improve sleep, it ripples into the next day and the next. So if you've made it this far in the video, I want to remind you of something important. You don't need to do all of these habits every night. That's not the goal. The goal is to notice what your body needs and to respond with care. Some nights, you might just dim the lights early and skip the screen time. Other nights, maybe you try the abdominal massage or the breath work. Each small habit is like a gift to your future self. Over time, they add up. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, start with just one. Tonight, choose one habit that feels doable. Maybe it's sipping a calming tea with the lights low. Maybe it's putting your phone away an hour early. Maybe it's taking 3 deep breaths in bed before closing your eyes. Whatever you choose, let it be enough. Because progress doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing differently. From choosing presence over pressure, rest over restlessness, intention over impulse. You don't need gadgets. You don't need to be perfect. You don't even need to track your sleep to know when you've had a good night. Your body already knows. It tells you through your energy, through your mood, through that steady sense of I'm okay when you wake up. That's what we're aiming for. Not just sleep, but peace. So as we wrap up this video, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you already do at night that helps you wind down? Or is there a new habit from this video that you'd like to try? Share it with us. You never know who you might inspire. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to click like. It helps more people, especially older adults who are struggling with stress and sleep, find this content. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Strong Elderly Life, where we explore simple, powerful ways to care for your body, your mind, and your spirit at every age. Because aging well isn't about doing more. It's about living smarter, softer, and more in tune with yourself. Here's to calm evenings, deep sleep, and waking up each day feeling just a little more at home in your body. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.